fun art. Okay, so this morning we're going to talk a little bit about and work on my kitties. Now, I think I'm going to call these kitty kickers because I love making them with their legs up in the air, and then you can toss a ball to the little cat, or you can toss a little pumpkin to the little cat. But this morning we're going to work on some things here. I like using a satin white paint for my kitty kickers, especially for this little blue one. So I have used a satin white for his tummy, for his paws, around his eyes, part of his tail. I've used a satin white. And so I'm just going to touch him up a little more. I'm going to get this into view. See if I can open this any bigger for you guys to see. All right, there we go. Just got a little bit of paint out here. This is a satin white that I'm using, and I'm just touching him up. He's really tiny. I mean, he's mini in size. And so I have found with my kitty kickers that I need to do at least one or two little touch-ups, especially if the paint doesn't go on, really well with the first application. Come back and put another paint. And again, this is an acrylic paint, which sticks very well and is really easy. You just have to get, a small brush. I love the way this satin white goes on. It actually makes it looks like fur. And you can kind of bounce your brush up a little bit, up and down. And so when it dries, it'll dry with a little bit of design in it. So the blue that I've used for this little kitty kicker is a blue cotton acrylic paint. And the acrylic paints, you can get them, at the different supply stores for your art. I'm just going to have his little fur going up that back leg just a little bit. And then his paws for his toes, I'm going to paint those. This is just putting another coat of paint there. I put a coat of paint on there yesterday when I made him, and I'm just applying another little coat. Okay. And then I love for the tail of this one to be white, so I'm going to go ahead and apply another little coat to make it even more brilliant, and kind of bounce the brush up just a little bit up and down to make a little bit of a design there. Okay. And this one, I don't know if you can see it. I can see it on my end. He has the satin white eye, and then there's a little green. It's a kiwi. And then the jet black comes in for the pupil. And then his little nose is done with the jet black, his nose and mouth. And the little whiskers are little pieces of a straw that I've used and cut. And when I first made him, when the clay was soft, I was able to just stick those little whiskers in and let them dry. with the clay. So this is an air dry clay kitty. Okay, so now I am going I love this blue cotton. If you like the blue cotton, the color of the kitty, let me know. Drop a comment and see here. You guys have already started dropping in comments. Let's see. Never guess. Okay, Lily, thank you so much for joining this morning. Let's see. Cinnamon roll. Thank you for dropping by this morning. I have these cute little comments coming in. Yeah, so these are my, you guys, I made this new little kitty out of air dry clay. And actually, I just stumbled up on the design here one morning. I thought having this little kitty flat on his back and having the little legs up was so cute. And then what happens once they dry, you can actually set a little grape or a little pumpkin or anything that you want on their little legs. And it makes it just so sweet. And they make the cutest little gifts. So I'm going to start making these for Christmas. And can't you just imagine these in a cute little box with some ribbon and sending these out as these little mini gifts? Don't you think that's a good idea? If you think sending these out as little gifts for Christmas, just a little sweet gift, is a good idea, drop a comment. Let me know. Because I'm going to make a lot of different colors of these. I already know some of the favorite colors of family members and friends, and I'll just be asking around a little bit more. And I'm not going to tell them while I'm asking them for their favorite color. And then right before Christmas, they'll find a little kitty kicker in the mail. I think that would be so sweet. All right, let me take a look at some of my chat that's coming in. Let me know if you like the little kitty kicker. And again, the reason I say kicker is because the little paws are up in the air. And for you that are just joining in, I made this little cat a couple of days ago. And I'm just going back and reinforcing the color. I'm using an acrylic paint, using a blue cotton right now, just to reinforce the color of his fur. And I want to make one that is a stripe. And I don't know how it's going to look, but I'm going to do it anyway. I was thinking about making a little kitty kicker that is maybe a black with a yellow or a green stripe. I think that would be so cute, but you never know until you put the paint on, how it's going to really look. All right. So what I do is once I get the paint on, it doesn't take long for this to dry. Just going to reinforce that color right there. And when you're painting your little kitty kicker, you want to be really careful with not getting into hitting the other details. You don't want to hit the eye, because you do a lot of work. You've done a lot of work to get those eyes in there. And the last thing you want to do is come back and, reinforcing your paint, and then you mess up your eye or you mess up the mouth. I mean, if that happens, yeah, you can go back and you can, redo it. But you don't want to have to do that. You want to move on to making another little kitty kicker or something that's okay. It's okay if you get some of the paint. See how that paint right there is setting on this? I'm going to let this dry, and then I'm going to use one of my tools to ease him up off of the surface here. I just want to make sure that I got him covered in his little blue cotton really well. Okay. And I'm going to take my finger and move his whisker just a little bit. See that? See how I'm moving his whisker? To keep it open as the paint dries so that his whiskers aren't stuck together. Okay, so I want to do, different colors, but I'll show you what I have so far. I did this little one, and he's an orange. Actually, he's an orange with, this is not really an orange color. Let me find out exactly what color this is. Okay, so he's not, he's kind of an orange, but he's a tangerine cream. Tangerine cream is what he is. Perfect color for the fall, perfect color for this little kitty, for Halloween, perfect color. And I also made a little pumpkin. And so this is what I was talking about a minute ago. You can take the little pumpkin and you can, there you go. And then you can actually move the little pumpkin around. See, they can hold little things with their feet. You just have to be a little careful how you put it on. But it's just a tiny little pumpkin. And you can make a little pumpkin. You can make, here's a tiny little grape. You set the little grape there, and there you go. And so let me move the little grape. I'm going to pick him up, bring him a little closer, and see, there you go. Now, he is a tangerine cream color. I've used satin white for his eyes, a jet black for the pupil, jet black for his paws, jet black for the mouth, and of course the whiskers are black. So I'm going to set him back here. And now I have another that I made, and he is made out of a princess purple. At first, I didn't know if I was going to like the princess purple, but if you like this one, if you like the princess purple color, let me know. Let me know if you like the princess purple. This one, of course, has the satin white tummy, the white tail, and I decided to leave the white around there because it shows his back is white. So you don't have to completely cover the sides with the color if you want a little, work in of the fur that's on the back. And then his whiskers, you can always take your hand, here you go, so see that? Or your fingernail, and you can separate the whiskers. There you go, and I'm pulling this one down. And I'm going to pull this one up so you can kind of move them. And I'm going to put him here. So thus far, see if I can open this up. Push it together so you can see them all three together. I hope you guys can see all three of these together. I like these little kitty kickers. If you like the kitty kickers, put me a shout out in the chat so I know it. Let's see here. Who's in the chat? Okay. My day is going really good. Cinnamon roll. I'm having a great morning here in Texas. Okay. So let me know if you like these little kitty kickers that I'm making. And I'll show you guys how to actually make one. All right, so I'm gonna get my clay so I can show y'all how to make these little kitty kickers. Oh, you know what? I do have one more. I've made one more. Now he's a little different. He's a kitty kicker that I put onto a little planter, a little, or I could say a holder, because I was thinking about putting a plant in the back of this little kitty kicker. I have some little gingerbread men that I've made. And so you can put almost anything in the back of the little, as long as it's mini and tiny. You can put your earrings as a holder. It can be an earring holder. It could be a pen holder. It could hold many different things. There you go. And I call these kitty kickers again because their little feet, see their little feet are up in the air. And let's see. There's a little daisy that I made that really is really sweet. See that? Isn't that sweet? So I'm going to push this up so you can see it. Isn't that sweet? If you like that, let me know. Again, you know, I think about gifts, cute little gifts that can be made that you can, you know, give to a friend or someone that you really like. I love his little tail. Isn't that the cutest little tail? Little flat pink cat with the little kiwi eyes. Actually, there may be room for the little gingerbread man as well. There we go. Got the little gingerbread man in there as well. And what I found with the purple one, the grapes are so cute when you put the little grapes on the purple one. So if I can pick this up and show you. See that one? So you got the little feet, and then you can position the little grape. Actually, he becomes a little grape kicker. Isn't that cute? Right. Whoops. We're going to push him up and put the grape down. There you go. Let's reposition this. I like the center of that sunflower to show. I call it a sunflower. There we go. So on my channel, I do a lot of clay art. And I've also done other things like abstract painting. I love building the clay cats, but I've also done the making of clay pots. Take a moment to look at some of my videos on my channel. Leave me some comments if you like the work that I've done. The comments are fun. I love to read the comments. And I'll be sure to respond back to you as well. Let's see here. All right, so let me get my clay so I can show you how to make one of the little kitty kickers. Oops. Let's reposition this. Okay, so I take my clay and the first thing that I do, and this is air dry clay, is I pull off a piece. And I like for my little kitty kickers to be small, so I don't get too much clay out. So something like this, about this size, is good. All right, so I'm going to push some of this out of the way. All right, so you're going to take a small piece of clay. Now, what I like to do with this clay is I like to pull another little piece off because I may need it for something. So another little piece on the side. So I'm working with, I haven't measured this, so you have to kind of eyeball it. But we're going to make a small kitty kicker. Okay, so I am going to add just a little bit more because we can always pull away from it. Okay, so you just take your little clay. Now I use my hands for a lot of my design work. And yeah, there's so many design tools out there, but I like to use my hands. All right, so start shaping the clay. Let's move it up so y'all can see it. So start shaping the clay. And see, I can already see this is I shouldn't have added that. It's gonna be too much. So just start over. Separating it. Okay. There you go. And I'm just shaping the design of a cat, of a kitty. Can you see the shape there coming into the shape of a kitty? Okay, let's pull this back a little. I want to make sure it's there. Okay, we're focused. It looks like it's focused really well. If you can't see it, let me know. Just drop a comment. Okay, so now I'm shaping a kitty. I'm showing you guys how to make the little kitty kickers. Okay. For y'all that have just signed on, we're doing kitty kickers. All right, so you get a lot of opportunities. It takes a little while for this clay to dry. Okay, so the next step, you see this clay? The next step is to close your clay packet because you want your clay to stay moist. Put it all back into the packet. So I'm putting my clay away so that I can make more kitties with what I have left. I like to close my clay into like a dome. See that? It reinforces it and it keeps it moist. All right, so that's taken care of. Now back to this. Okay, so I'm just shaping it. The more it dries, the easier it is to shape it, because as you can see how ply that is? Very ply, very gummy. And so once you start shaping it, it begins to dry. The more it's out, okay, in the air. Okay, so now I'm going to make the tail. And what I'm doing, I'm just using my fingers to shape the tail. However you want the tail shaped. Okay, there's the tail. Can you see the tail? I like for the tail to be, see the tail on this one? I like for the tail to just kind of stick out. And so you'll have other opportunities to come back to the tail. And I'm using this little tool to kind of make the indentation between the neck and the body to give it some shape. Okay, now here's the little clay I set aside. I'm pulling off, and so that you can see what I'm doing, I'm going to roll this just a little bit. And now I'm going to cut it because I need some pieces. See, even these pieces are tiny. The cat and the pieces are kind of sticky too, y'all, because you have to get the air. It's air dry clay. All right. So I'm going to take like this little piece here and I'm going to cut it in two. I mean, it's a tiny piece. See that? I'm just going to roll it a little more, kind of shape it a little bit, and I'm just going to stick it right here onto the cat. That makes his first little leg. Pick up the other piece. I'm going to take a little bit off. Shape it a little bit. You're just using your judgment on this. Shape it a little bit more, kind of knock it down a little bit. Stick the next one on. All right, so now I'm going to take my tool. I'm gonna shape this a little bit with the tool. Kind of push that over a little bit. Okay. I'm gonna do the next one. It is giving it a roll, and then you're giving it a little press down. You're just kind of shaping it. And we're gonna do the hind leg. There we go. So we have one more leg to go. And just twist it a little bit in your hand, and that's a little big, so it's a little big, so I'm pinching it. Pinch it off. See how easy that is to form in your hand, in your fingers? Just roll it a little bit. Flatten it a little bit. Now you're ready to put it on. There you go. I'm going to take my tool. See how it's beginning to lean over? You can shape that once you get it onto the cat. It wants to double over. I'm going to let it. There you go. Now I'm going to use my fingers to shape it even more. It's just kind of working with the, you have to work with the clay to get the design that you want. Okay. Then I like to take this tool and I like to kind of punch a design into it. It's kind of like punching the print of the cat, the kitty's toes. See how that one's leaning over? I'm going to use this tool to bring a little more structure to it. One, two, three, four. So there we go. Okay. So now I'm going to go for the tummy of the cat and make some imprint. I'm going to go again. Work with the tail a little more. See, it's getting a little stiffer. And that's what you want, so that it'll hold its shape better once it gets a little stiffer. There you go. Let me know how your kitty turns out. If you're going to make one, drop me a comment. Let me know that you're going to make one. And then send me another comment letting me know how it turned out. Okay. So I'm thinking right now as I design this about what color I want this kitty to be. You have any ideas as to what color? Drop in the chat if you can think of some good, um, a good color for this little kitty. Now, typically, I'm gonna go here. I don't want to make that too long though. See, when this clay dries, it puffs. It kind of puffs up. That's why you want to make sure that you don't start out with too much clay. I would say if you have a ball of clay that is this size, it's going to puff. It won't double in puff, but it will puff up some. It probably, it won't double. It won't even have to puff. See, all I'm saying is that, see how that clay is puffing up? It's air dry clay and it's designed to kind of puff up. That's why you want to use a smaller piece than what you actually want the size of your kitty to be. If you're going to use the air dry that puffs, I think the puff is so that it'll ultimately have a smooth exterior. You can put some design in the cat's tail. Like you can continue to shape that tail to be what you want it to be. Now, for the sake of this video, I'm going to go ahead and make a decision as to what color I want this kitty to be. So we already have a kitty that is tangerine cream. Then we have the princess purple. We have a cotton blue. And then we have the pink kitty. So can you guess what color I'm going to make this kitty? All right. So I'm getting ready to to move to the next level when it comes to my kitty. This paint that I'm using is an acrylic paint, and this particular paint you can wash off counters, you can wash it off your hands, you can wash it off your clothes. So I'm not really concerned about what this paint gets on because I can wash it off very easily. I have been wanting to do a little red kitty for so long. And today I get to do a little red kitty. You may have to do two coats or so, but all you're going to do today is just get your first coat of paint on there. And then tomorrow or the following day or whenever you have time, you can come back and get another coat of paint onto your kitty. And again, I call these kitty kickers. Just putting the little toes, I should say paws, paw prints. Shaping his tail. Just scooping his tail up because I want it to be up. So I'm going ahead, I'm putting it up in the air now. Okay. All right. I'm going to leave his paws white. I'm going to do for his paws, I'm going to do a satin white. Yeah. My coffee has gotten cold. I'm going to have to warm it a bit. Put it in the microwave and get my coffee cold. Okay, hot. Okay, so that gives this a little time to continue to stabilize. And I can get some more of the red paint. There you go, around the base. All right, so now I'm going to move to the next level. And again, I love using the satin white. And so this is my little trick when it comes to the eyes of the kitty. Just do a little drop there. A little drop there. Do a little more here. I usually let all this dry a little more, but for the sake of this video, I want to show you guys how I make these kitties. So we're going to move on. And now the bigger you want the kitty's eyes to be, that's how big that white circle needs to be, because all the other colors are going to go inside this circle. Okay. And you want to use a brush with a small end. I'm going to have to drop by another store. I was looking for a kiwi. I do have kiwi, but I think I'm going to go ahead and try this one. I got a lime tree color when I couldn't find a kiwi. And so we're going to use this lime tree for the next drop. And so what you do is you get a nice amount onto your brush, and we're going to drop it right dead center into that white. Lift up. Let's get closer. See if I can get you closer so you can see what I'm doing. Okay. Get another nice drop. Right dead center. Lift up. Try it again. And lift up. I'm going to even get some more. And down and up. You want to make the eyes as equal in size as possible. Nobody's eyes are the same size. Okay. But I just feel like that needs to have more. There we go. Okay. So now, excuse me, when you look at this, you can see the white circle, and you can also see that lime tree green circle. Okay, so that's how I'm forming the eye. See the eyes of this one? That's where we're going. This one needs to be touched up, but at least it's giving you an idea of what I'm doing here. And see the tail? I'm going to shape the tail some more. Any paints that come off, that's fine. You're just going to touch it up. Okay, so we are working on the kitty's face. And we've made the cat a real red. That's a real red color. And then we're using a satin white for the feet and the tail. We'll use a satin white for the first circle of the eyes. And right now it's a lime tree green pupil, but we're going to come back. I got one more layer for the eyes. Okay, so we're getting dead center. Actually, lower part of the eye. Drop and bring it up. The lower center part of the eye. Drop and bring it up. Okay. The eyes build the character of the cat. So you want to work with this to get the view or to get the gaze on the cat that you want. Some of the gazes look curious, some of the gazes look exciting, some of the gazes, um, this is the whimsical part of the cat. So I'm very pleased with how this turned out. Okay. And if you don't like how it looks the first time you drop it, you just let this dry and then you can work on the eyes again and again until you're pleased with them. Okay, so the cat's whiskers. I've come up with this little straw idea, and this is how I do my cat whiskers. So I take a little straw and I cut it. It's about that long. Just use it to measure the rest of the cuts. And I'm going to move it downward so that it doesn't hop all over the place when I cut it. And I do 2 whiskers on each side. You can do more or you can do less. Or you can leave the cat whiskerless if you want. Okay, so we're going down to the face of the cat. See if I can make it any bigger for you so you can see it. All right, here's a whisker. And I'm just going to put it wherever I want to put it. The cutest little place to put it. And I'm going to say about right here. And you push it in. And you want to get these whiskers in when the cat the clay is still wet. And then I'm going to do another one up above. And I'm going to push it in. There you go. All right. So now on this side, I'm going to do the other whisker. Just put them where you want to. Cats have whiskers in different places on their faces. And so the next one, I'm going to stick that whisker in. There you go. So his whiskers are in. Now, I'm going to do his nose. I take one of these little whiskers that I'm working with, and that's how I draw in that nose and mouth. So this one, I'm just going to, hopefully you can see it, make a dot for the nose. And I'm just going to kind of go around for the mouth. There, it's real simple. Make it easy, make it fun. I'm not even going to connect the two. I'm just going to leave the little dot for the nose and the little mouth because I don't want my cats to all look the same and have the same personality. I want them to have different personalities. So let me push this into view so you can see these cats up here. See how each cat is different? And while we're at it, I can just go ahead and touch this one up. I don't have any kind of a varnish that I've sprayed on these yet. When you spray your varnish or your resin, it holds your paint in place, preserves it. He got a touch-up, y'all. Little pink cat got a touch-up this morning on his pupils. Okay, see, they all have different personalities, and that's what you want. That's why I say when you're doing the eyes of your cat, Make sure you get the eyes of the cat in with the personality of your cat. Okay, so I'm just going to push this inward, and I'm going to push this inward. Okay, and then the tail, I'm still working on the tail. Y'all know what? I'm changing my mind about the paws. I think I'm gonna have black paws for this red cat. The white is fine, but I want the tips of the paws to be black. I think it's gonna just look better for this little kitty. All right, so all I'm going to do is just come here and just put a little bit of black. See that? When you're making your kitty, you design your kitty the way you want your imaginary kitty to be. There. I like the black paws. Okay. So you guys, this is how you make a kitty with his little paws up in the air. I'll show the others that I've made. So I've given you step by step what I do to make these little kitties. And creating one of these for somebody that you love or like or somebody you want to encourage is one of the sweetest things. Okay, so with the tail is still, it's still drying. But I'm going to do something creative with the tail. I want to see how this is going to look. If I do the tip of this tail black, and then let's see, if I come down, and again, when you're designing, you can just be creative as to how you want it to be. I'm just going to give him a black tail. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, so that tail is, go, we'll lift it up. All right, and so this is still pliable enough to continue to shape the rest of the kitty, to shape the kitty. All right, so I'm just getting a view here in so you guys can kind of see it all. There we go. I can bring it just a little bigger. All right. So now what I want to do, let's see here. I don't want my kitty to dry all the way on the counter. I want the kitty to transition because I'll be able to shape this little kitty better. All right, so I made the kitty on the counter. And now what I'm doing, I hope you can see this, is I'm getting him up off of the counter. Okay? Very gently. There you go. There you go. And now I'm going to use my fingers and some of my tools. And you'll see. All right, so this is a kitty's tummy. This is his tummy that I'm working with. All I'm doing is coming in here. Putting in his tummy fur. The tummy fur does take more than one application. It looks really, really cute the more that you work with putting the tummy paint in. And again, you guys, we've been working on this little kitty for about an hour. And we are pretty much done, except I'll come back tomorrow or the next day and I will work a little bit more on putting another application of paint on this little cat. If you like these, let me know. Just drop a chat if you like these. Or if you have a suggestion for another color, drop me a chat, send a chat, and let me know if there's another color that you would like to see. Okay. Thank you guys so much for dropping by my channel today, creating fun art. Take a moment to go by the channel and subscribe, and tell others to subscribe to the channel, especially if you like clay art. I work a lot with the air dry clay, and then I learn more about clay and I adopt other clays into my program. I love, love, love using acrylic paint to paint the clay because there's so many beautiful different acrylic paint colors on the market. Now we're coming into the holiday season. These would be adorable for little gifts. You just simply get a little box and put in the little thin paper into the box, and then you drop the little kitty into the paper, putting the lid back onto the little box and tying it with the cutest little bow in the world, and shipping that off to a friend can make somebody's day. So these little kitty kickers are cute, cute little gifts. And if you would like to get, some from me, drop me a chat. Let me know that you're interested in getting a kitty kicker for a gift, for a friend, for a sibling, or something like that. And we can talk about the kitty kickers and how to make them and how to get one to you and how it works. But I've given you a really good idea today on how to go about making your kitty kickers and getting those out as gifts to a friend. Subscribe to the channel, tell others about the channel, share this with others. And go by my channel, take a look at some of my videos, drop me a chat. I'll get back with you as quickly as I can. And thank you for dropping um, by the channel today and taking a look at how to make some really cute, creative clay art that's really ideal for anyone who like many things, tiny things, someone who love little kittens or little cute things. Thank you again for dropping by the channel, and please subscribe. You guys take care. I have another um, video that actually I'm going to do another live. I don't know if I'll be doing another live this week, but I'm going to try and start doing a live video at least once a week, if not more. But again, let me know if you like these little kitty kickers, so I can plan out what I'll be showing you guys on my live, and what I'm making and how I'm making it. Um, so have a great day. Talk with you later. Bye bye.